Hello, thank you for joining us. This is another Fat White Guy movie review. Tonight we're going to be talking about one by our man Bruce Willis.
Love Bruce Willis.
And if you haven't seen this before, my name is Steve.
Josh.
And we're going to tell you tonight about Surrogates, a movie we watched. And the instant, if you don't know what the instant is, then you're not Netflixing. And you probably need to be.
Because it's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, The Surrogates with Bruce Willis drops us into a world full of robots controlled by humans. The humans are have been trained to be fearful of going out in public, and so they now live their lives through their surrogates or their robot self.
An entire population of agoraphobic, adults.
Yep. So tell me what you thought about it.
It's in the sci-fi genre. I'm a fan of the sci-fi genre. It really fell flat in a large part of this film. I love if Bruce Willis wasn't the star of this, I probably wouldn't have watched it. Just to be honest, I probably wouldn't have finished it, because the action, though it's there, it never really feels like it hits a true climax until the very end, and it just overall it just feels very dull. It didn't pop for me. I don't know how else to explain it. It just doesn't jump out as a standout film. It's a good film. It's worth watching, but it's not a great film. There's some good performances. You have Ving Rhames playing the anti surrogate guy. He's pro-human. He believes that people should live as humans and such, but other than him and Bruce Willis, Radha Mitchell, she plays Bruce Willis's partner. She does a very good job also, but still it's not a whole lot of good there. Not a whole lot of good. What do you think, Steve?
Thought it was a good movie. It's not a very intricate or deep movie. The movie is the vehicle for a very simple message about the way we live our lives today. I like the fact that they didn't overdo it with pretentious action scenes and trying to concentrate on the overacting or the overactions or the over whatever. And the movie was really just a vehicle for a very simple message, and that is that we today as people are detached from ourselves and our families. The surrogates, as they were, the robots of the people, was very illustrative of today's life, as we are all on our computers living through our Facebooks, our MySpaces, our Twitters, our YouTubes, and we're very disconnected. Even driving down the road, you can go down the road at any point in time and watch somebody with a passenger in their car, yet they're still on the cell phone talking to someone somewhere else.
That aggravates me.
So
it really does.
The movie, I don't think, was meant to be a rock and shock action film. It wasn't that. It was a message film. It was a vehicle for that message. People, get back to the basics. Get in touch with your human self. Give up. Even if you can't give it up entirely, don't become so consumed by all things that get you away from the basics that you forget what it's like to just enjoy each other's company and each other's conversation without all the facades that we tote with us in everyday life.
Yeah.
I mean, when we go to work, we're one person. On our ride home, we're another person. Before you walk in the door, you put on another surrogate. In the movie, everybody had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 surrogates, and I think that was very symbolic with the way we change our mood and our emotions depending on who we're around. And most all of them are not our true self. We're probably our truest when we're riding by ourselves in our car, away from anybody else and isolated to ourselves. And the advent of cell phones took that away from us, and it slowly started from there. And maybe that wasn't the key component that started everything, but it grew. And we are consumed by our gadgets, and we're living through them. And to me, that was the very simple, direct message of this movie. They didn't try to be clever or obscure. They said, hey, you know what? In today's world, people are losing it. They're losing touch. A lot of values and morals are going down the drain because of it too. they can be directly attributed to the fact that we have lost touch with those personal values, family values, the worth, the value of, just someone's company. Again, it's just simple. There's nothing deep or intricate about it because it's not deep. It's a very simple principle. And I think the movie did a good job of conveying this. And I think it did its job for what it was supposed to do. I think it was a good movie. I like Bruce Willis. He's a good actor. He always is. It's
I love Bruce. Bruce Willis is always awesome. I mean,
it's hard for him to go wrong.
I've never seen a Bruce Willis film that I couldn't watch all the way through. Yeah. And there aren't many actors that I can say that about.
Yeah. So I think the movie, if you aren't sitting down to watch a movie if you're not looking for obscurities, if you're not looking to be puzzled and mystified, if you're not looking to be, ooh, that's gonna smell. If you're not,
it does. It's like some kind of burnt umber type of alcohol scent.
Mexican chicken fingers.
Really? Oh yeah.
So see, and if we were surrogates, you wouldn't have got the pleasure of knowing.
No, I'd have never had to know about that.
You would not have known that I had.
So is that a positive for surrogates or?
Well, for us, it's a positive.
It is an interaction, and that is what the whole thing the whole thing's about. Like you said, it's a giant vehicle for showcasing how disconnected we are. To me, as much as I want to really love that concept, and I do love the concept, I felt like they could have done it more subtly, and I felt like they could have really packed more into this film than they did. Yeah,
but sometimes less is more, and I don't think. I think if you try to pack more into it, and what's really funny about it is it's so plain and so out there and so not packed and so not obscure that I would be willing to bet that a good chunk of the people that watched the movie really missed the message.
I don't know how you could.
And just thought it was a failed RoboCop or a failed Terminator movie. Man, that was nothing like Terminator. Man, that was nothing like Robo. Well, yeah, okay, it wasn't, and there's a reason for that. It's because it's not that kind of movie. It's a message movie.
But overall, what do you give it, Steve?
Overall, I think overall I will give it a 6. I like the movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it failed in what it was trying to do. It had a message. It did its job. But, as far as entertainment value and wow factor and whatever, yeah, I didn't walk away really wild. I walked away doing the whole, yeah, I get it. That kind of, that kind of thing. And I appreciated what they did, and so I'm gonna give it a solid 6.
It's worthwhile. It's a worthwhile film. It's not something, if you haven't seen it, from my viewpoint, it's not something that you need to stop what you're doing and go watch it now. It's a solid film. It's a Bruce Willis film. Bruce Willis is always going to produce quality. So overall, I'll give it a 5 because it's a genre that I love. It's an actor that I love, and overall, it does deliver the message, even though it's very blunt, and it's a worthwhile film. Don't stop what you're doing to go watch it. So overall, it's a 5. And Steve gave it a 6.
Yeah, so I think you should see any movie. Don't ever not watch a movie.
Yeah. Based
on what somebody else says, then you're just being a sheeple. And
sheeple.
I love that word, dude. Whoever invented it is just genius.
I don't know.
And
it's a good one. It sounds like a Kevin Smith term.
I don't know, but don't ever not watch a movie because of what somebody else says. Because you need to think for yourself. All you can do is take into consideration what other people think and. Decide what time of day you'll watch it. Do that, but don't not watch it. So yeah, go watch it. Tell us what you think. That's Surrogates, Bruce Willis. It's on Instaflix right now, and leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. Go watch it and follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Like this video, like all our videos. Subscribe and share it with people, and let us know you're out there. And we'll see you next time.
See you next week.
Take care.